Okay, so I've been kind of experimenting with some cooking, and I just thought I'd do a how-to video. And I know that there's like a million how-to videos out there, but I thought that I would just give it a try, and let some of my friends know about this great key lime pie recipe. Key lime pie is one of my favorite pies, and I didn't know it was so simple until I tried it. And so it's kind of perfected between different online websites and also some of my grandma's old recipe information. So let me tell you first what you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need some graham crackers, and if you don't want to buy graham crackers and do all the hard work of crushing it and making it into crumbs for the crust, then you could buy already crushed graham cracker crumbs. But this is cheaper, and it's not a lot of work. You know, if it's in the bag itself, like I could show you in the bag this way, you could just sit there and crush it in the bag. Sometimes it ends up leaking, but it's not too bad. You will also be needing limes. Key limes obviously are the best, but if you don't have key limes, then any kind of lime will do. And you can also find key lime juice in the store, but it's a little expensive. So fresh limes are always the best. Plus, you're going to need the rind of it for the zest. You'll be needing some sort of, this is Eagle brand, it's one of the most common, some sort of sweetened condensed milk. This can be a bit pricey. It can get up to $3 or $4 a can depending on where you buy it. So make sure that you buy it on sale or buy it somewhere where it's a little bit cheaper. You're going to be needing 4 eggs, specifically egg yolks. You don't need the whites, but 4 egg yolks, about 3 tablespoons worth of sugar, and if you guys don't really have like tablespoon measuring stuff, then maybe you have cups, just so you know that 16 tablespoons equals 1 cup, so there's one tablespoon is basically an ounce. So if you're doing, for example, a quarter cup, it would be 3/4 of that quarter cup for 3 tablespoons. And then about 5 tablespoons of butter or margarine, not oil in this case. Oil makes the crust really gross. So anyway, here I have crushed up some of my graham crackers, and you kind of just crush them until you get about 1.5 cups. You can do a little bit more or a little bit less depending on how thin you want your crust, but this gives you a nice, I would say, 1/2 inch, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch pie crust, depending on what size pie tin you're using. Of course, one of the ingredients you need is a pie tin, and you can find these all over. They usually say large pie tins or pie pans, and you can get 3 of them for about $2 to $4 depending on where you buy them. And if you don't need all 3, then sometimes you can find singles, but it's just worth it to get the 3. So anyway, you're gonna take the crumbs and take the 3 tablespoons of sugar and kind of mix them all up in the pie tin. And then you want to melt the butter. So the 5 tablespoons of butter or the 5 tablespoons of margarine, this is which I used here because Noemi's parents, they use margarine. Take it and melt it, and then pour it in that pie pan and just kind of mix it all up until it's a nice moist consistency and it's able to stick to the sides. And I'm going to be real careful and try to show you my already done one. I'll be right back. So, as you can see, you kind of just smash it against the sides. A spoon or a fork works really well. A spatula if you have one. And make sure it's very even, because if it's not even, then the crust can't really bake right. And what you're going to do is, after you've put it in here with the butter and the sugar and the graham cracker crumbs, you're going to bake this crust at 325. That little beep's telling me that it's preheated. It's going to go in there until it's slightly brown, and as you know, that graham cracker crust is going to be brown anyway, so it's kind of hard to tell. Well, it's going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on what kind of oven you use. In this case, it's going to be a gas oven, so it gets a little bit hotter, and it stays hotter in there than a normal coil oven, and it's a little bit more evenly distributed. For this, I'm going to probably do about 10 minutes, and then once you're done with that, you take the egg yolks and the about 1/4 cup, maybe more if you like your pie a little bit more full of that lime flavor. I do, so I put more lime and actual pieces of lime too. If you could use the actual lime and try to just get some of the pulp in there, that helps with the flavor. About 1/4 cup of that juice with this can of sweetened condensed milk. Mix those up together, and then you're just going to add the lime zest last, and you pretty much put it back in the oven at 325, and you bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until it gets solid. And since I don't have the done product here, I can't show it to you, but when it gets solid, you'll know because you'll be able to shake it. It'll still look and have a nice liquid kind of consistency, but it'll cool down and it'll become harder as it cools. And you put that in the fridge for about 3 to 4 hours, and then you're ready to serve it. A lot of people put whipped cream on their key lime pie. I personally, it's hard for me to make whipped cream because I don't have a beater right now, and even when I was living in my own apartment with all my things, I didn't have a beater for a long time until my mom bought me one. So it's hard to beat whipped cream without a beater or without a mixer. So what you want to do is try to zest it up with the lime zest on top. You could put additional graham cracker crumbs that I obviously have some extra left over. I also roasted some coconut, and you could put that on top, or roasted almonds. I'm going to try to roast some almonds too and just kind of put that on top. Whatever you really want to do to make it look beautiful, I guess. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a very simple key lime pie recipe. You guys can try it, you know, at home and see if you like it. And if you really like key lime pie, this will probably cost you, for all the ingredients, it'll probably cost you good like $30 to buy all the ingredients at first. But once you have eggs, then you could, you know, make eggs and other things, or bake with eggs elsewhere. If you have sugar just lying around, a bunch of it, you can make other things with sugar. So it's not like these ingredients are things that you're only going to use once, and if you only buy a little bit, or if you buy a big container and you only use a little bit for this recipe, you're not going to use it. It's definitely for the baker. If you have baking needs or baking wants, desires, and motivations, then you will be using the rest of the ingredients. So anyway, that's it, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm going to show you how this pie looks maybe in the next video, or I'm not sure. I might actually be able to put it up. Maybe I'll do pictures or something as my thumbnail. I'm not sure. Alright, guys, have a good one.